It's been terrible. It's been a terrible. Everyone who lives in the city knows someone, most of us, multiple people, families, friends, colleagues, neighbors whose houses burned down. And the truth is, we don't even know if it's over. We had 100-mile-per-hour winds.
A few moments later.
Why didn't you just fly a helicopter into the ocean and then just, I don't know, because there was 100-knot winds? You want to do that? You want to do that at night, you lunatic?
How are you?
This was definitely mismanaged.
That's a big word we're hearing now.
Mismanaged, like some idiot on the internet knows how to manage the worst fire in LA.
This video is brought to you by Save the Storks, brought to you by Save the Storks. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you real quick about our medical mobile clinic that we're going to have right here in Phoenix, Arizona. We're about halfway to our goal of getting the larger unit. We already reached our goal of getting the smaller mobile. We want the bigger one where we can do more and help more women here in the state of Arizona. So all I'm asking you for is $35 a month, $35 a month to help at least one woman in their pathway to having a real choice, and that is ability to choose life. I want to also tell you guys about For Every Woman, which is a part of Save the Storks, and they're helping with essential medical supplies and things that women need in Southern California, and they're providing a lot of different things: medical care, including prenatal services, counseling, community resource connections to empower women who are in need. Obviously, they're providing supplies, and they're focusing on life-affirming support for mothers, women, and babies who are affected in a disaster. So if you want to be of impact, make sure you also go and visit this page and get involved. This is very important that we also not forget the women who are in need in this disaster. The left tends to make this politicized. We want to actually make a difference. So make sure you go Save the Storks. We'll put the link in the description section, and you can also click on the banner at the top for Every Woman support in Southern California. Bill Burr, who's a comedian. Now, Jimmy Kimmel, Kimmel's in Bits, he was crying when he brought up the people who are losing their houses, and my friends and colleagues have lost their homes. He didn't lose his house. They lost their homes, and Donald Trump is mean-spirited.
As you know, it has been a very scary, very stressful, very strange week here in LA, where we work, where we live, where our kids go to school. We are back in our studio, which we had to evacuate on Wednesday. That's our building right there, the El Capitan. That is how close this fire was to our theater here. Many of us had to leave our homes in a hurry. Some of our coworkers lost their homes. That's Hollywood. I don't want to get into all the vile and irresponsible and stupid things our alleged future president and his gaggle of scumbags chose to say during our darkest and most terrifying hour. The fact that they chose to attack our firefighters, who apparently aren't white enough to be out there risking their lives on our behalf, it's disgusting, but it's not surprising. Instead, I want to focus on thanking those men and women, because we should never stop.
Same show.
I heard you had to evacuate your home.
Yes, like most people I had to. I got lucky, the winds moved, but, the fire was coming and all that stuff, so I feel lucky.
Are you guys back in?
And I think everybody did a great job.
Yeah.
Unlike the internet,
Yeah, right, I know, it's right.
Oh, my God. All of these fire experts. Why didn't you just fly a helicopter into the ocean and then just, I don't know, because there was 100-knot winds? You want to do that? You want to do that at night, you lunatic?
How are you?
This was definitely mismanaged.
That's a big word we're hearing now.
Mismanaged, like some idiot on the internet knows how to manage the worst fire in LA, sitting there in his underwear. You know what? Looking at the footage on the internet, I have determined that this here was mismanaged.
You know about helicopters because I remember, and it's interesting now thinking about it, because you said that.
About it. I know about the one that I fly. Other than that, I don't know anything about it.
You know
but
something.
If you're on the internet, you know everything.
I hope you know about it because you said that you got your pilot's license in case like all hell broke loose in L.A., you could get out of L.A. And at any moment, did you think, I'm going to make a run for that helicopter?
Well, the error in my thought was I didn't realize how expensive helicopters were. So all I have is a two-seater, and I didn't want to have to make Sophie's choice with my family. So, we all piled into the SUV like everybody else. But no, man, these guys were out there clearing the trees, getting the wires back up and everything. It was like the perfect awful thing that could have happened, and it did. And I love how all the chatter out there is about bands of illegal immigrants and homeless people lighting fires. They light fires every day. They're living outside. They're cold. And this theory that some homeless guy without a car went from Altadena all the way to the Pacific Palisades, and then we have a hang glider. And they're talking about looting. But CNN and Fox News are not going to bring up the insurance companies that are just going to keep everybody's premiums and still give themselves a bonus. Yeah. Yes. Free Luigi. I love how they acted surprised. Why did that happen? I have no idea. He wrote on the bullets why it happened.
Oh, we're back to Luigi. Okay, yeah.
I never left Luigi.
How is Bill Burr, the father, the husband, in an emergency situation?
I don't know. I'm all right. Like
Are you?
When big stuff happens, I get ridiculously calm. My Achilles heel is little things. Huh. So, like, if the house was going to be on fire, I would just be like, well, kind of be cool to not own anything. Like, I'll just go into that mode. An opportunity to build a dream house with the money I no longer have. I would just think like that. But, like, little things I flip out at. Like, if I go to make toast and then all of a sudden it burns, I'm like, who the is changing the settings? And what I realized, I just realized this backstage is what it is I learned as a kid when big things are happening, keep your mouth shut or the big thing comes at you. And then I flip out over the little things because I'm emoting about that in this. So I don't make any sense to anybody in my house. They're like, Dad, it's toast. What is the big deal? It's like, well, I would tell you what the big deal was, but it's too sad, so we'll just keep it on the toast.
That was Nick's pick. Nick. Sometimes I think Nick a rhino. But anyway, he's a comedian, right? So he's gonna have a comedic relief. But he say things in a comedic relief that he agree with. I do see his point. Some people are acting a fool and making up conspiracies. But I do think that the government in California screwed people. Now, he's talking about once the fire is going, the first responders are responding properly. That's after. They weren't jumping water before the fire came. And homeless people, just imagine this for a minute. And I disagree with Bill Barr on that one. Bill Burr. It's a Bill Maher, a Bill Burr, and Bill Murr. Like somebody got to do something about this. So I disagree with him on this point. Imagine that your house got burned down that you grew up in, your school that you went to when you were growing, everything that you knew and that you lived through and all your memories all burnt to ash. Would it be funny to you or would it be acceptable that a homeless person is the reason for this? I'm just wondering. Would that be acceptable? No, you'd be ticked off because they could have gotten them homeless people from up under that thing, but they let them lay down there. Because they need a home too. But now at the cost of burning everybody else's house down, you ain't even got a house. You burnt down your tent. People that lost their whole memories. And the mismanagement happened before the fire. Nobody can deny that. The fact that Gavin Newsom is saying, I'm going to do an investigation, that tells you that they effed up. You don't need to do an investigation into something that went as smoothly as it could be and you gave everything you had and you know the principles are right. You don't need to investigate that. You know that we did everything we can and it's just the worst fire that ever happened. You don't need to do an investigation when a hurricane come through a city and you had everybody evacuate 2 weeks before the hurricane came. And some people just stayed there and got blown away or whatever you want to call it. They mismanaged this. And an investigation is saying, who do I throw under the bus? I knew that Karen Bass was incapable. I allowed Karen Bass to continue to be incapable. But now that it has exposed the fact that she effed up big time, let me do an investigation into Karen Bass. So then we're going to see all the ways she effed up. And Gavin Newsom is going to say, oh, I didn't know she did that. Glad we did the investigation to find out. That's wrong. Karen Bass is thrown under the bus. That's what a snake oil salesman would do to you. He knew she was mismanaging the city. They didn't do enough to clean the brush. It's fire season. It's not just an act of God, meaning that God came out of the sky and just said, I'm going to start sprinkling some fire just right on it. Oh, burn it. Let it burn, baby. Let it burn. I'm hot up here. I'm cold up here, I mean. I'm going to get, yeah. God wasn't doing that. It's that mismanagement and homeless and all kind of stuff, all the concoction of these things all put together was a crescendo effect, and it ended up being what we see today.